So I just
I'll
wanted
lead
to
you
ask,
through it.
because I can get long-winded. For
Yeah,
you,
no
for your
problem.
audience, what's better? Do you like more anecdotal, or would you like to try to cover more ground?
Oh, that's a good question. No one's asked me that before. I want them to be able to relate to you
Okay.
and see themselves like see you as the them of the future.
Okay. That's
So
good.
I'm
I can
like
use that.
great with you, right? Like I'm good with you talking about Vamonos Vans. I'm good with you talking about, your other consultancy. Um, because what I think it will attract is people that are trying to figure it out for free online to come watch a bunch of entrepreneurs talked about like valuable lessons that they've learned.
Yeah. Cool. Great.
Okay. All righty. All right, here we
Love it.
go. Hey guys, it's Tasha Tolliver with Tasha Tolliver Consulting, and I'm back for another one in the series of lessons learned by entrepreneurs for entrepreneurs. And today we are going to talk to Ben Price. Ben, thank you so much for joining.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I'm super excited to be here. Aside from my business, Vamonos Vans, the other thing that I'm passionate about is entrepreneurship as a whole, and I know how hard it is and can be. So one of the things that fills my cup is being able to help others who are in or have been in situations similar to me, and helping them learn from my mistakes.
Oh my gosh, it's so true. And so you and I are connected through a reality TV show that we both participated on called The Blocks.
Yes.
Just like really almost every other person that you're going to see in this series. Which which season were you on again?
I was on season 10.
Okay, and season 8 for me, and I think you can find 6, 7, and 8. Right now, I'm speaking at like the end of March, beginning of April. You can find 6, 7, and 8 on Amazon Prime. The rest you can find, or what is it, up through 11?
I
Which one's it?
think I
Or
know
up
my
through 10?
season's released. Yeah, where season 10 is released. I think 11 is next.
Okay, okay. So you can find those on Vimeo, Facebook. There's an app called Beta Blocks, and that's Blox. And
Yep.
then Google Play and the App Store, I think are all the places.
Yep.
So,
You can also watch it on the Beta Blocks website.
okay. Oh, perfect. Oh, that's right. I think that's where I watched them all. How could I
Yeah.
forget?
If you want to binge them all straight in a row, that's
Yeah.
the place to do it.
Okay, that's really, really good advice. Okay. All right. So tell us about your business or businesses and how you got
Yeah.
started.
So my main business is Vamonos Vans. We're here in San Diego, kind of one of the major hubs in the whole van life movement. Which, for those of you who are not familiar with, we essentially take cargo vans or passenger vans and convert them into luxury tiny homes on wheels.
Ooh.
Uh, our unique selling proposition, or our kind of special sauce, is we focus on making everything lightweight. All of our, I shouldn't say all, most of our competitors make beautiful vans. All of them make beautiful vans. Most of them do it out of wood, which is great. It works, but it's heavy and it has issues with moisture.
Oh,
Um,
never would have thought of
and
that.
as yeah, most of us know, but maybe not thought of, extra weight in a vehicle ends up costing you with fuel and maintenance on your driveline components, which are some of the more expensive ones.
Okay.
And yeah, so we just do everything we can to keep all of the weight out. So we make all of our cabinets and framing out of aluminum. Doesn't have any
That's smart.
issues with moisture. Thank you. Doesn't have any issues with moisture, and super lightweight, and it'll last a lot longer. So that's kind of our special sauce. And then, yes, as you alluded, I do have a few things. I do some fractional CMO work, which is kind of leftovers from my previous job, which I owned and operated my own content marketing agency, Blackwave Digital. We did a lot of work in social media, from managing content and accounts for e-commerce brands in the sports and active lifestyle industries. Everything from managing social media, creating content, managing influencer partnerships, uh, pay-per-click ads on Facebook and Google, and
Yeah.
then from there kind of made a little bit of a pivot into the YouTube space. I was a producer, videographer, and editor for a full-time YouTuber in the Tesla space, which was really exciting. So I actually got to go to a few Tesla events. The most exciting one
Ooh.
was the Cybertruck release. I was there in the tent. I watched them smash the windows with the giant ball bearing.
Oh,
That was pretty wild. And then him and another couple futurist and tech YouTubers had a podcast talking about all of the crazy futurist tech stuff that was coming out. That was pretty exciting.
oh my
Um,
gosh.
and while I was doing that, I had kind of built up a small rental fleet of camper vans, which was left over from when I lived in my van starting my career doing content.
Okay.
And then, yeah, as things happen in business, I made the mistake of stacking all of my revenue, or should I say 90% of my revenue was one client. And as things happen, things changed for that client. We didn't have that client anymore. And I said, oh shit.
Man.
Do I want to go back in full on sales mode and rebuild my client list for
Right.
Blackwave Digital? Or maybe I should start going full time on the vans.
Yep.
And it kind of just so happened that at that time, a few of my renters and or just kind of mutual connections were asking me if I could build them out camper vans
Oh my gosh.
and pay me to do it. And I saw a golden opportunity. And for
Mhm.
years, I had been talking about how I wanted to have a van building business, but I
Yeah.
didn't have the resources by any means to
Right.
do so. And then I kind of just like, my eyes were open and I was like, wait a second, I could do this. And I think I
Wow.
have to do this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how did you get started? Like I would be so I mean, maybe like your first van that you lived in, did
Yeah.
you deck that one out like yourself or where'd you get the fleet of rental vans that you already had? Did you make them or did you
Yeah.
buy them?
So this is kind of my manifestation story. I didn't believe manifestation until this stuff happens. I'll try to keep
It's
this concise.
true.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
it's you guys, if
100%.
you're not out there looking through, go look out, go learn about manifestation, please.
Yeah. 100%. And I would have been the first person to poo-poo it too
Hmm.
back in the day. I'm from the Northeast. I'm from Connecticut, so we're very cold in many ways. And I didn't believe in any of that stuff, but holy
Yeah.
shit, do I now. Um, so it actually started when I was 14. I'll try to keep this concise because I couldn't draw this story out. Started when I was 14, actually, with my best friend growing up, who's actually another Bloxer. He's actually how I found out
Oh,
about the
for real?
blocks.
Oh,
Yeah, season 5.
okay, okay,
Ross Clark with Malden Cabinetry. Yeah.
okay.
Um, so his parents owned a remodeling company, and they had a bunch of 40 lines around.
Okay.
And I loved the surf skate lifestyle,
Yeah.
um, kind of idealizing where I live now in San Diego.
Right.
And vans were always a part of that culture for both skate and surf because you
Yeah.
can haul your friends, you can haul your gear,
Yeah.
you can sleep, camp out if you need to.
Right?
Right. And van life didn't exist back then. This would have been like what, 2003, 2004. Um, or at least it did, but back then it was, the SNL
You're
character
homeless.
down by the
Oh,
river.
yeah.
Yeah. So I loved the idea, and I was always kind of an against the grain kind of kid. So I was like, nah, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. It's gonna be my first car. And then I realized how much they cost, and I didn't do that. So fast forward, getting out of college, and I moved to San Diego. Kind of said, screw it. I'm either gonna, wait until I'm retired, or I'm gonna
Yeah.
do it now while I'm in my 20s. I was
Honestly,
like,
those are the only two times, right? Those are the easiest times.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like, San Diego in my 20s sounds like a lot more fun. I was about to move
Right.
to Manhattan and become an advertising executive, wearing
That
a suit
doesn't
every
sound like
day, and I
as
was
much
like,
fun. Mm-mm.
nah.
No.
So fast forward, or I get out of college, I moved to San Diego, do the surf lifestyle, and started meeting people who were living in their vans.
Yeah.
They were doing it, kind of the budget surfer way.
Yeah.
But growing up in Fairfield County, Connecticut, right? I'm seeing, how we can bring the luxury side of living
Yeah.
into the vans, and that was right about the time that the van life movement kind of started taking off on Instagram.
Sure.
So my first van, to answer your question, was not luxurious,
Okay. Yeah.
which is why this story is so funny to me and why I fully believe in manifestation now. Because this was like it was not obvious to me that this is what was going to happen by any means. I
Right,
moved
right,
to San
right.
Diego with $3,000,
Oh my
about a
gosh.
quarter of the stuff that I had, right? Because I sold all of it, and I was sharing a car